about 13 or 14 maybe, and she had just barely begun to crawl, not walk yet. And we used to live in this, my father was in the army, and we used to live in this town about 200 kilometers away from Delhi, Ambala Cant. And I still recollect, I was taking my afternoon kind of nap or siesta, call it what you like, and I find somebody tugging at my hair, and I woke up. Now, those of you know, I'm sure all of you know the sleep of a 13 or a 14-year-old guy. I mean, we all sleep so intensely in that age that it's that you can imagine the intensity or the ferociousness with which she must have been tugging at my hair. I woke up, I immediately kind of said, okay, Abha, sorry, obviously she's 1.5 years old or whatever. Anyways, I thought about it. But I wasn't prepared for that perseverance. I mean, her perseverance would probably put that legendary spider in the King Bruce and the Spider to shame. I mean, she kept tugging and tugging and tugging. And that was my first hand experience of her feistiness, of her gutsiness, of her willingness to not give up and to say that I'm going to fight. That was to me her first indication. Of course, at that time I didn't understand that, but I think later on, as I think of that, I think it reminds me of her feistiness, of her willingness to get up and speak, of her expressiveness, of her willingness to take up her cause and look for them. And I think that was a lot a part of her life. Growing up, I guess I was. As I said, I was the youngest of the siblings, and then, by the time I was 17, both Vimal and Shekhar were already in college, and so she was the only one. I did my undergrad at home. When I say at home, I did my BCom, in a local college, so I spent a little more time with her than some of the other siblings did because they went to college early. The other thing that I remember was that, in those days, I was just about 17, 18. I used to get a pocket money of 15 rupees. In which I was supposed to manage my chocolates, my milkshakes, whatever, including buying my table tennis balls. I used to play a lot of table tennis and cricket. And then I was 17 and my mom said, you need to take better care of Abha. Tu sham ko yahan jata hai, you go out with your friends, you take her with you. And I'm like, okay. So time that you don't play cricket or time that you're not studying, you must devote more attention to her. I said, okay. And so I said, look, I get 15 rupees. If I go out in the evening and have a milkshake, I can't buy her another milkshake. My mom was a generous lady. She offered me another 5 rupees. And so now I have a pocket money of 20 rupees to buy my own milkshakes, to buy my own table tennis balls, cricket balls, and to buy her chocolates and milkshakes. But she was such a loving personality that very soon she endeared herself not only to me, but to all my friends. In those days I had a bicycle, and you all understand that bicycle that has a bar, and I would put her on the bicycle on the front bar, and I would ride the bicycle, and I would go out with my friends in the evening, whatever, 6ish, 7ish, after you've kind of done your cricket or whatever studies. I would put her on the cycle, and we would all go. I would go out, and then my friends. So as I said, by the time I was 17, 18, she was now 5. She had this ability to endear herself to a whole lot of people. And so all my friends, and there was a time came when I wasn't spending money on her chocolates and milkshakes, they were. And so she was the darling of the group. She was not only my darling, but she was a darling of the entire group. And she went to school, so I think I'm running out of time. So I'll try to keep it short. I'll try to finish in the next 1 minute. Abha initially went to I'll just talk a little bit about her schooling, and then I'll kind of invite the next people over. Abha initially went to a Christian school at Ambala, the convent of Jesus and Mary, and that again happened to be close to my college, and I would drop her in the morning and sometimes pick her up. And then later she went to the same school, which was KV in Malacan, where I had also done my initial schooling. And it was there that, she developed her art or passion for public speaking. And everybody at that school, I mean, she obviously carried a whole lot of trophies, etc. But everybody at that school was obviously, they sang a whole lot of laurels. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was that one thing we had in common, both Abha and I, had our love for Hindi poetry. In those days, Abha and I, as she grew up, as she went to school, 10th, 11th, and then later on she came to KV Andrews Ganj here, we would often recite to each other Hindu poetry from. I got to finish. Thank you, section. I got to finish. But so we would often recite poetry from, Gopal Das Neeraj, Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, Surikant Tripathi, Nerala, and all these people. And then later on, of course, once she came to KV Andrews Ganj, I was not as much involved because then my other brothers were also here, and I think we all spent that equal part. But I think what we all admired in her was her qualities of endearment, was her ability to get along with a whole lot of people, her public speaking, her love for all of us. She gave us so much, and in a way we are happy that that we were able to spend whatever limited time with her, and that she enriched the life of her married family later on, and that we all have so many sweet memories of her. Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you so much, Suman Mamu. So one of the things that Mom loved the most, obviously after me, was family, right? And Suman Mamu was here, and we all saw he had so much to say, and it's because she loves family so much that there are people that want to say so many things, and I realize that's what I'm doing right now, but let me have this. I just want to say that she was very, very proud of you, and she would have never let me go to America had you not been there and had she not trusted you with everything. And now I want to invite more people to speak about what family means to her, and for that I'm going to be inviting Dolly Marcy, Bittu Mamu and Kanal Mamu to come up on stage and give share some stories, perhaps.
Okay. In the interest of time, I have no notes. I only have very, very loving memories. Early summer vacations of Abha's early life were all spent in her mama's house in Dhanbad. And I was one of the lucky cousins, a huge, enriched beneficiary of her existence. Every summer vacation, Deepu, she and I, we were like similar age. We would be together and create a riot. I want to make this to celebrate her, right? She was competitive, feisty, and we would compete for how many parathas, mooli parathas we would have. And then next morning, who would be louder and longer with their farts. And then we came to Delhi University. And in Delhi University, I think Acharyaji said that, right? I was hungry and famished in the university. I would show up in Abha's house in the middle of the night, and Bhua and Abha would never turn us back. And I would not come alone. I would come with friends, from the hostel. Too much love, too much affection. But the real excitement was when Santosh showed up. I was one of the lucky cousins who met Santosh first. And at that time, Abha had to decide. And there are two stories I want to share. Santosh, with your permission. We were young, we married, my wife and I had 2 young children, and Abha and Santosh were dating, and they would show up. One summer afternoon in June, they showed up in our small Patparganj apartment. And post-lunch, Sunday, we went in with our 2 little children to put them to sleep. We show up after 3 hours, and in the living room, we saw Santosh and Abha kuchi-kuing without the fan on. They were so happy with each other. they didn't need any fan or AC. At that time, we didn't have an AC. That was one. And the second one was when we decided to go for a movie. And Santosh very gallantly agreed. At that time, he was still wooing my dearest sister. And he said, I'll pick the tickets and I'll wait for you. The movie was Dustin Checks in Chanakyapuri. We were in Ghaziabad, and by the time we reached, it was well past the intermission. But guess what? Because of my two children, by the time we packed, got ready, we were like too late. We get there past intermission, and what we see there is that he's still waiting. And then Abha and I, we chuckled together and we said, a man who waits for you till the intermission is the man you choose for life. And that's how, she got one of the best gifts of her life. Section, you came later. And Santosh, the amount you've loved and given her love is far outlives what we could do as a family to her. I'm deeply saddened, but I know that I've learned a lot from her. I've been enriched a lot from the experiences that she's given us. And I hope that wherever she is, and I know that wherever she is, she'll only be happy and make that part of the world happy.
Hi everyone, I am the youngest in this generation, and I am thankful to Abha and all my sisters that played such an important role in raising me after I lost my mum when I was really young. So first and foremost, thank you to Abha and all my sisters here today. I was reading something really beautiful the other day. The football coach, a really famous football coach, was writing about, all players don't get 90 minutes to play. But sometimes you get much less time in the field, and it's what you do in the field that counts. For any person that's lucky enough to have a family or have children, I think your results show in your children and the love in your family. And I think in Abha's case, we can clearly see how proud we all are of Saksham and of the love that she shared with all of us. And I think ultimately, it's not really about the 90 minutes. It's about the time that you have and the impact that you have and the time that you have. And I would just say that in Abha's case, we may not have seen all of what she had to offer, but what she did have to offer made our lives a lot more special. So thank you, Abha, thank you, Saksham, for giving me a chance to speak. We'll miss you, but your love and your soul will stay with us forever. So thank you.
So good evening, everybody. As we celebrate Abha's life, she was my little sister who would always call me Dolly Dee, and she was like, her radiant smile and her infectious laughter would kind of, all of us would bond so well together. She was really the epitome of family bonding. Every occasion, she was like the heartbeat of the family. Every Rakhi, every Tikka, she was the one who would bring us together. She would remind us the date is coming, we've got to kind of get together, we've got to, celebrate together. She would make sure that we would follow every tradition in those festivals and the festivities that we would do. Every birthday, every anniversary in our family group, she was the first one. You would get up in the morning and she was like, she's the one who would send the first message. And so the whole family was reminded, and then the greetings would pour in and pour in. So Abha, we're really going to miss you because you've touched every child's life in the family. All the nieces and nephews have been touched by her. And with such warmth and grace, she would just kind of keep us all together. So it's hard to believe that she's not among us anymore, and we are really pained with her going. This was not that we were prepared for at all. While we celebrate her life, she was just everything to do with love and warmth and bonding. So Abha, we really miss you. So thank you for Saksham for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you for your listening.
Namaste everybody, and thank you, Sita. I'm Supriya. I'm Didi's cousin, and I'm here to. All of us have heard how she made a difference in each of our lives, endearing, enriching. But to me, she was a person with grace, elegance, and we've already heard about her being feisty enough. Somebody, when she would walk up, on the airports, when she was in Standard Chartered, somebody for me to look up to, and an inspiration. But I'm also here. She was a very, very close cousin of ours and very close with my brother Sandeep Bangya. He could not attend this function today, but I'm just picking out a few lines on his behalf. I will be fast. It is with a very heavy heart that I write this today. Abha was not just my cousin's sister. She was a confidant, a sounding board, and someone I looked up to deeply. Santosh ji would often be surprised at our long Sunday conversations, wondering what we had so much to talk about. But that was just Abha, warm, engaging, and always deeply connected. As I watch these pictures on Zoom, I feel an overwhelming sense of pain. But today, it is not a day to grieve. Not in a way that Abha wouldn't have lived. She would have wanted us to remember her with strength, with laughter, and with love. Abha was a few years senior to me, almost like a mirror from the future. I still remember how I admired her when she was at Standard Chartered, already in the corporate world that I had aspired to be a part of. There are 3 things I learned from her that have stayed with me and always will. The power of word. Abha was a master communicator. Whether in Hindi or English, her words had a charm. They opened hearts, created bonds, and left lasting impression. Many of you may have already witnessed this formidable skill of hers. Second, grace in relationships. While she was deeply rooted in family, Abha was also extremely practical. I remember when she would visit Mumbai early in her days, she'd say, "Come to the guest house if you can." Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. Sometimes she came home and sometimes she couldn't. And that was perfectly okay with each other. Not being able to meet doesn't mean the love or regard is any less, she would say. This easy grace, this absence of ego was rare. Third, gentle wisdom in parenting. As a mother, she was exceptional. I often sought parenting advice from her, especially now with 3 daughters of my own, 2 of them teenagers. Her insights were thoughtful, rooted in experience, and always full of compassion. Today, though I'm not there physically, the grief I feel is no less. I wish I could be there to hug Santosh and Saksham. Thank you, Abha, for everything. You will always be with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asi, sharing that on Sandeep Mamu's behalf. Mom loves Sandeep Mamu so much. She's always talking about him. And like the trips we've made to Mumbai and how he's always taken care of us. So Sandeep Mamu, if you're listening virtually, from me, Mom and Dad, thank you so much for the words that you shared and for taking care of us whenever you have. But Sandeep Mamu also pointed out one great thing that we haven't touched upon yet, which is that she's a loving mother and she's definitely a loving relative to so many of us, but she's also a fantastic corporate woman, and she has been an inspiration to a lot of my friends, both male, female, and they've always been impressed by all the things that she's done. And from everything I've heard from her, she's told me stories being a woman and climbing up the corporate ladder that quickly for her is a testament to just how talented she is. Obviously, I can't speak too much to that experience, but luckily we have Prachula and Rajiv, that were colleagues from Standard Chartered. So if they're here, I would like to invite them up on stage to speak more about her corporate journey, which is so impressive.
I have so many things to talk about, but now, after listening so much, now I just don't have the, I think, the energy or even the, I don't know, I can't say much right now, but I just want to say some small little things. First, I would like to thank Abha as well as Santosh, both of them, for making me part of their beautiful journey from September 1995. Abha's beauty shone not just from a radiant smile, but also from the warmth and zest she brought to every moment. She loved picnics, she loved colors, she loved having celebrations in the office, and as many of our dear Abha's relatives and cousins and family members said, she loved each and every tradition. She was a friend and a mentor to me and always knew how to make me feel valued. In fact, she became my go-to person, almost like a psychologist. Whenever I would feel low professionally, I'll go to her, even when I was not in her department. She called me, I was with her in 1995. She called me again in 2004 to join another department. And I told her, I don't know anything about this department. And she said, why not? You were the one who said in your first interview that if I'm joining a professional company, I expect somebody to do hand-holding. We will do it. Join, nothing is rocket science. She made everything so easy for me. When I wanted to leave my current job or wherever I went later, she would always tell me. It was almost like a lecture and a motivational speech for me that don't leave, you've achieved enough, you can do more. Her confidence in me was something which always motivated me to go further. And as I said, I can only say thank you, Abha, for your encouragement, guidance, and your unconditional love. That will forever remain etched in my heart. I have a lot of messages from my friends, but I would give it up now, give the microphone to Rajiv to take it further. Thank you very much. Thanks, Akshay.
Thank you, Prachula. Thank you, Saksham. I'll say Abha ki Abha hi nirali thi. She was a remarkable presence, a true live wire who brought energy and purpose wherever she went. She was tough, yet deeply compassionate leader, someone who led with both strength and heart. Her discipline never overshadowed her warmth, and her ability to inspire was unmatched. Like Prachula said, whenever I was also, I was used to feel low, we used to have a chat. Whenever she was not in a good mood, we used to have a chat. And each time, she has told me, Rajiv, not to quit. You have come so far, at no stage you can quit. This is not the right time to quit. You have to prove, and then if you want to quit, then do it. Go on a high, not on a low. Her life is a testament to how passion, integrity, and empathy can coexist, leaving a lasting impact not just through work, but through the spirit with which one lives. Thank you, Abha, for everything. And needless to say, we will really miss you. Thank you. Thank you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much, Priscilla and Rajiv, for sharing that. Cool. So moving on, we now are going to be talking about something else that was also deeply important to Ma, which was the Arya Samaj, and also educating the less fortunate, and how she's practiced, practiced discipline and trying to make sure she takes care of those who need the help to do so. And to speak more to that, I'm going to be inviting Ved Vyasji, and he's going to be sharing some stories about what that has meant to mom and him.
धन्यवाद सक्षम। आप सभी को नमस्ते। आभा जी के बारे में कहना तो बहुत कुछ है, बहुत सारी बातें, बहुत ही बहुआयामी व्यक्तित्व की स्वामिनी, मेरी छोटी बहन। मेरा मेहता परिवार से संबंध 70 साल से भी ज़्यादा पुराना है। शेख और हम दोनों बचपन के साथी। आभा बाद में पैदा हुई और सबसे छोटी थी। मुझे मेरी धर्मपत्नी आदि बता रही थी कि बहुत दुआओं के बाद, बहुत अरदासों के बाद ये पैदा हुई, क्योंकि इनकी मम्मी की इच्छा थी कि मेरी बेटी होनी चाहिए। तो यही कह सकता हूँ कि जिसको सूर्य ने और चंद्रमा ने अपनी आभा प्रदान की हो, ऐसी आभा की का वर्णन करना बहुत मुश्किल, बहुत आयामी पर्सनैलिटी। हमारा बहुत अफेक्शन था, बहुत साथ था, बहुत परिवार का मिलना था। और आर्य समाजी हम हैं। इनकी दादी स्वर्गीय माता सरस्वती मेहता हमारे आर्य समाज की संस्थापक, और उन्होंने ऐसे संस्कार दिए अपने बच्चों को, सभी को, कि आर्य समाज से ये परिवार सदा से जुड़ा रहा। और आभा बहुत ही वैदिक संस्कृति से प्रभावित थी, एक साहित्यकार भी थी, एक कवित्री भी थी। और मैं जब से आफ्टर माई रिटायरमेंट फ्रॉम बैंक मैं इस कार्य में जुटा, सेवा कार्य में, और हमारा फील्ड तैयार था। आभा मेरी बहुत ही अच्छी परामर्शदाता भी रही। मुझे बताया करती थी कैसे करना, चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजी के बारे में और चीज़। और इन बच्चों ने, तीनों भाइयों ने और बहन ने मिलकर एक बहुत सुंदर भवन वहाँ कमरा भी बनाया हमारे आर्य समाज में, जहाँ बच्चों को हम शिक्षा देते हैं। और आभा का पिछले काफ़ी सालों से बहुत ही अच्छा, हमारा बड़ा क्लोज कांटेक्ट रहता था। और मुझे खुशी होती थी जब भी इनका फ़ोन आता था कि जीजा जी आज सक्षम का जन्मदिन है। किसी परिवार में बताया, एक बार अप्रैल में मुझे याद है बताया था कि मेरे ससुर साहब का भी जन्मदिन आ रहा है, ये रुपए भेज रही हूँ, बच्चों को लड्डू खिला देना, समोसा खिला देना। इतना ध्यान रखती थी और जानती थी कि जो गरीब बच्चे आपके यहाँ पढ़ने आते हैं उनको कैसा ट्रीटमेंट देना है, कितना उनको एक अपनापन देना है, जिससे कि वो बच्चे पढ़ाई में भी अच्छे लगे और एक अच्छे नागरिक बने। ये इनकी बहुत बड़ी विशेषता थी। इनके जाने से जो वैक्यूम हुआ है वो तो परिवार महसूस करेगा ही, लेकिन आभा की अपनी आभा समाप्त नहीं हुई, वो हमेशा रहेगी। जो खुशबू अपने सद्व्यवहार की, अपने अच्छे सत्कर्मों से छोड़ के गई है, वो खुशबू बनी रहेगी। हम अपने मंदिर आर्य समाज में, जहाँ इनका बहुत बड़ा सहयोग रहा है हमेशा, हम इनकी स्मृति को जिंदा रखेंगे। कुछ ऐसा कार्य करेंगे, प्रोग्राम करेंगे, जो पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट के प्रोग्राम्स हैं बच्चों के, उसका नाम आभा के नाम से शुरू करेंगे और एक कार्य हमारा चले। आभा गई नहीं, आभा हमारे बीच से। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद वेद जी। And now I'm really excited to be inviting somebody else on the stage. This is a part of her life that she was the most excited about in the most recent times, which is poetry. After I left for the US, she suddenly had all this time and she picked up poetry again and she went all in. And as she picked that passion back up, she met Dr. Indra Yatharth, and I can honestly vouch that she was her best friend to a point where even I got jealous. Like, there have been times when I would call mom and I'll be like, why are you not picking up? She's like, I'm busy, I'm talking to Yatharth Masi. You need to like call at a later time. But she loved her so much, and I think I'm just so excited that she's going to come up on stage and share some things, because Mom is super excited for whatever's about to come right now.
नमस्कार मित्रों, बहुत सारे आयाम के बारे में आप लोगों ने सुना अभी आभा के बारे में। मैं आपको एक उसके ऐसे आयाम से परिचित कराना चाहूँगी। शायद आप लोग बहुत कम लोग होंगे जो आभा के उस आयाम के बारे में जानते होंगे, क्योंकि उसी आयाम के थ्रू मैं बाई दी वे ऐसे मैं महिला चिकित्सक हूँ, पर मेरा एक पैशन है। जैसे आभा अपने पेरेंट्स से, और उसने देशभक्ति का बहुत बड़ा जज्बा था जो उसे अपने ससुराल और पीहर दोनों से मिला। ऐसे ही मुझे ये पोइट्री का जज्बा जो था वो मेरे पिता से मिला। आभा, मेरी लाइफ में आभा का आना एक मिरेकल है। जैसे नियति हमें खींचकर हम दोनों को मिला देना चाहती थी। पिछले 6 महीने हमारी मुलाकात हुई 8 जुलाई को। उससे पहले से 6 महीने तक वो बराबर आभा मुझसे मिलने का ट्राई कर रही थी, क्योंकि बिकॉज आई एम द डॉक्टर और मैं पोइटर, तो बहुत सारे फॉलोअर्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे लोग जानते हैं, तो हर एक को तो हम कह नहीं पाते कि हाँ आ जाना भैया मिल लेना। तो आभा को मैं हमेशा मना करती रहती थी, हाँ मिल लेंगे यहीं रहते हैं। उसका फील्ड एकदम अलग, वो अलग आया व्यक्तित्व की स्वामिनी, और मैं मेडिकल, मैं राजस्थान से, वो यहाँ दिल्ली से। कोई संपर्क नहीं है हमारा, नॉट ए सिंगल वन बंदा ऐसा नहीं था जो हम दोनों को लिंक कर सकता था। और वो इतनी इगर थी, एनी हाउ उसे मुझे डॉक्टर यथार्थ से मिलना है। मेरी पोइट्री जैसा मैंने सुना, आई एम टू गूज बम हो रहे हैं मेरे को अभी भी। कहीं कहीं से वो मेरी पोइट्रीज ढूंढती थी और उनको पढ़ती थी। वो कहती थी दीदी मैं तब ये सोचती थी ये कोई इंसान नहीं लिख सकता, ये कोई रोबोट होगा जो इस तरह पोइट्री लिखता है। मैं 1000 ऑफ पोइट्रीज लिखती हूँ। मेरा पेशा ऐसा है डॉक्टरी का, तो नो डाउट मेरे को यथार्थ नाम जो है वो साहित्य से ही मिला है, क्योंकि मेरी पोइट्री ज़्यादा यथार्थ होती है। मरीज भी मेरे पास यथार्थ में ही आते हैं, झूठ मूठ तो कोई मरीज होता नहीं, इसलिए मेरा लेखन यथार्थ है। और वो यथार्थ दीदी को ढूंढती रही, उसके सूत्रधार बने उसके बैंक के गुरु आदरणीय ओम प्रकाश खंडेलवाल जी। वो उसी ग्रुप में आए जिस ग्रुप में मैं थी, उस ग्रुप में उन्होंने मुझे वहां देखा, उन्होंने कहा कि तुम डॉक्टर यथार्थ को ढूंढ रही हो ना, उस ग्रुप में ज्वाइन करो। उसके बाद जब उसने ज्वाइन किया, हम मिलते रहे, बात होती रही, नॉट मिलते रहे। आपको मैं शेयर करना चाहूँगी, उसकी इतनी स्ट्रांगनेस की आप सब लोग तारीफ कर रहे थे, उसके दिल में कोमल भावना धड़कती थी, तभी वो पोएट थी। उसने मुझे एक छोटा सा ऑडियो भेजा, 6 महीने की मुलाकात नहीं हो जाने के बाद उसने मुझे एक छोटा सा ऑडियो भेजा। दीदी, क्योंकि वो इन सब बीमारियों से वो निकल चुकी थी जो आप लोग जानते हैं, उनके बारे में बताना व्यर्थ है। दीदी मेरे पास उधार की सांसें हैं, मैं मरने से पहले आपसे मिलना चाहती हूँ। पकड़ा गया मेरा दिल। उसी समय हमने मुझसे कहा, मैं कहा ठीक है आप आइए, मैं भिवाड़ी में रहती हूँ, हमारे पास में होटल गोल्डन ट्यूलिप है। मैं संतोष जी की बहुत बहुत तारीफ करूँगी। इस छोटे से उसके इस एहसास को उन्होंने अमृत के द्वारा सींचा, इस छोटे से एहसास को कि मुझे डॉक्टर यथार्थ दीदी से मिलना है, अमृत के द्वारा सींचकर वो उसे भिवाड़ी लेकर आए और हम मिले। उसके गवाह रहे आदरणीय संतोष जी और मेरे पति आदरणीय डॉक्टर ML गुप्ता, और इसके सूत्रधार कौन थे? हमारे आदरणीय OP खंडेलवाल जी। 2 घंटे कीप मम, आप इस बात पर विश्वास करें, 2 घंटे कीप मम, ना उसकी तरफ से कोई एक शब्द था ना मेरी तरफ से। हम 2 घंटे सिर्फ आलिंगनबद्ध जिसे कहते हैं। तब शायद मैं नहीं समझ पाती थी कि वो मेरी छोटी बहन बनेगी या क्या बनेगी, बस हम लोग 2 घंटे बैठे रहे, और टिल आज मैं यहाँ हूँ उसके उसी बंधन से। आप हैरान होंगे, 8 जुलाई को अब 2 साल होंगे, लेकिन हमने एक उम्र जी ली इन 1.5 सालों में। ऐसा कोई संबंध नहीं था जो हम दोनों ने एक दूसरे में नहीं जिया, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं थी जो हम दोनों ने एक दूसरे के से साझा नहीं की। 24 घंटे एक दिन में होते हैं, हम 24 घंटे में से 15 घंटे बात करते थे वीडियो कॉल पर और फोन पर। दीदी मैं नहाने जा रही हूँ, दीदी अब मैंने ब्रेकफास्ट कर लिया, और संतोष जी इसके गवाह हैं। देखिए आभा का जो व्यक्तित्व है, मेरी भाषा में और आपकी भाषा में एक 4 पंक्तियां हैं। मैं आपको सुनाना चाहूँगी वो। परिंदों को तालीम नहीं दी जाती उड़ने की, परिंदों को तालीम नहीं दी जाती उड़ानों की, वो खुद ही नाप लेते हैं ऊंचाइयाँ आसमानों की, वो खुद ही नाप लेते हैं ऊंचाइयाँ आसमानों की। महकना और महकाना तो काम है खुशबू का, महकना और महकाना तो काम है खुशबू का। अजी साहब खुशबू तो कभी मोहताज नहीं होती कद्रदानों की। ये हम जो सब कद्रदान नहीं है, हम इसके फॉलोअर बनना चाहिए हमें, जिस तरह से जीवट वाली लड़की थी। आपको इसके उस साहित्यिक पहलू के बारे में थोड़ा सा मैं बताना चाहूँगी। जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया, उसको पियर और ससुराल से दोनों तरफ से आज़ादी का बहुत जज्बा था उसके अंदर, और बहुत उसने कुछ पंक्तियाँ लिखी आज़ादी के ऊपर। वीर सावरकर का कभी हमारा कोई कार्यशाला चल रही थी, तब उसने लिखा, हलाहल पीकर मुस्कुराना, हलाहल पीकर मुस्कुराना कर सकता है कौन यहाँ। मैं खासकर शेखर भैया को समर्पित करूंगी उसकी ये पंक्तियाँ। हलाहल पीकर मुस्कुराना कर सकता है कौन यहाँ, देश हित निज बलिदान देना सबके बस की बात कहाँ, सबके बस की बात कहाँ। और अपने देश के लिए वो बहुत जागरूक थी। जो जनता आप लोग जानते हैं उसमें कितना एक वैल्यू थी। तो उसे बड़ा अच्छा सा एक बार उसने लिखा, अखबारों पे उसने एक कटाक्ष किया। अब अखबारों के दौर में, अब अखबारों के दौर में झूठ परोस रहे हैं अखबार। शायद यहाँ कोई पत्रकार बैठे हो तो मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी रहूंगी। अब अखबारों के दौर में झूठ परोस रहे हैं अखबार, लीपा पोती के काल में सच बेचारा जाता है। ये आभा की लेखनी थी। और मैं कुछ चंद पंक्तियां बताती हूँ, उसने अपने आप को कैसे डिफाइन किया। आभा खुद अपने बारे में क्या कहती थी, मैं वो आपको बताती हूँ। छोटी सी सिमटी, छोटी सी सिमटी, थोड़ी सी बिखरी, थोड़ी सी सिमटी, थोड़ी सी बिखरी, बहुत मासूम पर मर्यादित भी, बहुत मासूम पर मर्यादित भी, लहरों सी चंचल पर शांत कभी, दिन की उजली धूप कभी, अमराई की शीतल छांव कभी। जिसने जितना जाना उतना ही आभा को अधूरा और पूरा पहचाना, जिसने जितना जाना उतना ही आभा को अधूरा और पूरा पहचाना। देखिए वो जैसे अभी बहुत देर सुन रही थी, बहुत जीवटता थी उसके अंदर, जीवनता थी उसमें। उसने लिखा है कहीं, बिखरे तो इत्र हो गए। मैं शब्दों पे ध्यान दिलाना चाहूंगी कि आभा के मन की जो आत्मिक पिपासा थी उसकी, सब आपके काम सब करने के बाद जो उसका मन था, जो छोटी सी उसके अंदर जो भावनाएं थी, वो किस तरह थी। बिखरे तो इत्र हो गए, टूटे तो आईना हुए, बिखरे तो इत्र हो गए, टूटे तो आईना हुए, हर हाल में खुद को खोकर जमाने को संवारा है। यह आभा की अक्षर अक्षर सत्य लाइन है। उसका जितना मैं या आप लोग उसके जीवन के बारे में जानते हैं, जितना भी सब लोग आप कह रहे थे, वही सब उसने अपनी पंक्तियों में उकेर दिया। बिखरे तो इत्र हो गए, टूटे तो आईना हुए, हर हाल में खुद को खोकर जमाने को संवारा है। जिंदगी तेरी हर बात को मैंने शान से स्वीकारा है, जिंदगी तेरी हर बात को मैंने शान से स्वीकारा है। चलिए बहुत सारी पंक्तियाँ हैं, बहुत सारी पंक्तियाँ हैं जो आभा को कहें। बस मैं अंत में अपनी दो पंक्तियाँ आभा को समर्पित करती हूँ। मैं बस आपको ये कहना चाहती हूँ, साहित्यिक जगत में हम दोनों दो शरीर एक आत्मा के नाम से विख्यात हैं, और बस मुझे यही अफसोस होता है शरीर शायद यहीं रह गया और आत्मा चली गई मेरी। उसी पर मैंने कुछ पंक्तियाँ लिखी हैं। राजा फरमाए, मौन सी पूरी कर गई वाचाल था, हार से डरी नहीं जिद पर खड़ी रही, हार से डरी नहीं जिद पर खड़ी रही, बात बात कर्मणा अंत तक डटी रही, बात बात कर्मणा अंत तक डटी रही, भाव शून्य कर गई आंख अश्क भर गई, भाव शून्य कर गई आंख अश्क भर गई। कौन थी तू जिंदगी, कौन थी तू जिंदगी मुझ में मुझसे ढल गई, कौन थी तू जिंदगी मुझ में मुझसे ढल गई, कौन थी तू जिंदगी मुझसे मुझ में ढल गई। नमस्कार।
Thank you so much, Dr. Indra Yatharth. My mom, anytime she would call me, she would always say, you know, every time I talk to Dr. Yatharth, I just feel like my day has lit up, and that just brings a lot of joy in all of our hearts. But one thing I noticed every time I saw those two together was like my mom would laugh so much. She was so happy every time she was with you, and she just appreciated you so much. And another person who made mom laugh just as much as Dr. Yatharth did was my dad. And he has been there through her thick and thin, and he has showed up in any and every way, and I am obviously a witness to that. But I have learned so many things from him over the years, but I think I'm going to invite him up on stage right now to learn a few more. So I'm going to be asking him a bunch of questions in front of everybody and put him on the spot to share a bunch of things. And we're all going to make a promise to make sure he doesn't get too senti, because he can. And it's supposed to be a celebration today. Hold on, you can take this. Check. Can you have the cordless mic on, please? Check. Check. It's okay. Right. Check. Cool. Looks like that's going to be able to answer all the questions from here on. All right, Dad. So let's start with some of the easier questions. So the first question I have for you is, tell me and tell all of us about the first time that you met Mom.
Okay, I met Abha in 1995 in Bangalore. So this was, I used to be working as Times of India Bombay that time, and Abha was heading Standard Chartered Cards department for North, and I was shortlisted for Standard Chartered Cards North, and there was an event in Bangalore at the Oberoi's, MG Road. So I had come down from Bombay, and Abha and all the other colleagues had come down from Delhi. And that day when I reached the hotel, the bar was open, and since I was from the media, I had 2-3 pegs of whiskey. I was sitting, and after some time, the Standard folks came in, and somebody came and said, "This is Abha, and you will be working in her team in Delhi if you join Standard Chartered." And I was a little high, and I just said, "Oh, hi," and I just sat. And I believe Abha went and told her colleagues later that this guy is so arrogant. I mean, he didn't even stand up, and so that was our first meeting. I was a little tipsy, but that's how it started.
Right. And tell me when things started kicking off. When did the romance start?
Okay.
Just so you know, I've been told
Sakshat
to
told me
ask
that
these
he asked
questions.
questions so that I don't get emotional and start crying. So it's all for fun. And let me share this. So I joined Stanchart Delhi, and so in one of the events, like somebody mentioned here, that she liked to have parties and do a lot of events in the office. So in one of the events, I sang a couple of songs. Bhaure Ki Gunjan, Hindi songs, and there's one more, Hemant Das, Chupha Lo Yun To Ye Pyar Mera. Those two are her favorite songs. She liked them, and she was quite happy. And I felt that she started liking. Okay, she was quite senior to me in Stanchart. She was. We have something called Band 6 that time, and I was Band 8, not even confirmed. And so I thought she liked me, and so after some time we had this appraisal, and some of my close friends know about this. So in the appraisal, they talk about whatever you have done in the 6 months, and then they ask a standard question which most bosses ask. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So I said, in your arms. so she's, I mean, for a second then she said, you have guts. I said, because I had nothing to lose. I came from Bombay to Delhi with one old guitar, 2 shirts, 2 jeans. So if I get kicked off and not confirmed, but I had to take a chance. And she smiled, and then then things happened. So that's it.
You want to tell us about that guitar on the picture?
Yeah, this is one of the. This is kind of post-marriage, but yeah, I would want to mention one more incident that happened in our life during our dating time. Abha had 3 elder brothers, and they were quite healthy, and I was a little scared. And but Abha's mother was a wonderful person, and she knew that I liked Abha, and so at that time there were no cell phones. I'm talking about 97 or something, 96, 97. And I used to stay in Vasant Kunj, and Abha was in East Delhi, Prithviya. Abha had once mentioned to me in office, once we were having coffee, that one of her dreams in life is on her birthday she should get up and there should be rose petals all over. That's kind of a dream that she had. So I spoke to her mom on landline one day, and I said, "Auntie, Abha का ये बहुत मन है, मेरे को ये करना है." So auntie said, "Perfect बेटा, October 1 को उसका birthday है, अब थोड़ा जल्दी आ जाना, मतलब वो 6:15 के करीब उठती है, तो आप 5:45 तक आ जाना, and then we can, So मैंने वसंत कुंज में I went to some one of those temples. We got a lot of rose petals, and October, those time it used to be a little cold in the morning. So I had a scooter, and scooter started at 5 o'clock. Because of the chill and because of 3 elder big brothers she had, only I think there were 2 of that time in the house. I was a little scared, and I was डर के मैं पहुंचा. But auntie was there at the gate at around 5:40 or something. She opened, we went inside. Abha was sleeping. Auntie and I put rose petals all over the bed. Then auntie woke her up slowly. She got up and she saw all. She was so happy and she was blushing. So this is a very wonderful moment in our romantic life. So
what happened once one of the brothers was woken up?
Okay. So then auntie, Abha's one brother is a photographer, and he was in the other room. So auntie told the maid, भैया को उठाओ, बोलो संतोष फूल लेके आए हैं वो फोटो खींचने के लिए. So Vimal भैया was sleeping heavily, I mean kind of nicely, and somebody woke him up. He was already irritated. He woke up, got his camera, then he came into the room. He thought I would have got a bouquet or something for Abha. When he saw rose petals all over, he just looked at me like this. I mean, what a stupid, well, he didn't say that, but he would have said in his mind, what a stupid guy my sister likes, kind of.
Alright, okay, now I want to ask you, tell me more about some of the things that made Mom the happiest.
The happiest thing that happened in Abha's life was birth of Saksham. After Saksham was born, everything revolved around him. Everything that we talk, speak, everything was Saksham. So that's the nicest thing that happened. Oh, that's so wonderful. In her life, she was very happy, and Saksham has been a very good son. Other things that she was very fond of was reading books, traveling, meeting friends and relatives. These were things that she really loved. She liked holidays. She enjoyed holidays a lot. She liked festivals a lot, irrespective of whether it's Christmas, it's Diwali, Holi. Even if it is Kerala. I'm a Malayali, so if it's Vishu, Onam, she will go very deep, and she will really enjoy those festivals. I wanted to, if there's a clip, we had a clip of that she just shot a few days back, mid-April when we had Vishu. So we went to Mayur Vihar Guruvayur temple where, so she does a lot of research for, whenever she travels or whenever there's a festival, she will do a lot of research, she will talk about those festivals, all those places. She was very involved and very knowledgeable. I mean, for me, I learned a lot from her every day. I mean, kind of information she had, and the kind of detailing she would go into, the kind of reading that she used to do about. So she knew about temples in Kerala so much that none of us Malayalis even know. I mean, that's the kind of depth she had. Beta, do you have that clip for Guruvayur?
Yeah, we're gonna get that video up in just a second. But in the interest of time, while the video gets set up, why don't you tell us if you have a message for everybody who's here to celebrate?
Okay, the video's come. This was recorded just a month back, April 15th. Sorry, I don't know. Does it play? Audio is not there. There's no audio?
Yeah.
Is okay.
Papa,
Okay.
until that gets figured,
Okay.
let's look more into if you had a message that you wanted to share until then.
Okay. All of you here are friends, relatives, all who know Abha and all near and dear ones. Something that's happened in my life, I really want to share with you. For your loved ones, please do not procrastinate.
उन्होंने अपनी जपता आवाज में आप सबका नमस्कार मित्रों, मेरा नाम आभा मेहता और आज मैं आप सबके साथ जुड़ रही हूँ मयूर विहार के गुरुवायूर देव संस्थानों से। आज है 14 अप्रैल और हम मना रहे हैं केरल नव वर्ष। मैं आभा मेहता जो एक मलयाली परिवार की पुत्र वधू हूँ, आप सबको विशु की शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ। This festival is celebrated very close to the spring equinox. भजन आराधना पूजन का कार्यक्रम शुरू हो चुका है। मान्यता ये है कि गलती विशु को लेकर ये है कि आज ही के दिन भगवान कृष्ण ने नरकासुर दैत्य का संहार किया था, इसीलिए ये पर्व बहुत खुशी के साथ मनाया जाता है। दूसरी किंवदंती जो ये है कि एक बार रावण, जो कि आप जानते हैं कि बहुत प्रकांड पंडित थे, उन्होंने अपने जप तप से सूर्य भगवान को पूर्व दिशा से निकलने के लिए मना कर दिया और उन्हें बाध्य कर दिया कि वे उदय ही ना हो, सूर्योदय ही ना हो। किंतु जब ये स्थिति ब्रह्मा भगवान के पास पहुंची, उन्होंने सब कुछ समेटा, सीधा किया, तो आज ही के दिन सूर्य की नव परिक्रमा पूर्व उदय से होकर शुरू हुई थी। तीसरी जो किंवदंती है, किंवदंती क्या है? ग्रह नक्षत्र के हिसाब से आज के दिन सूर्य भगवान मेष राशि में प्रवेश करते हैं, इसलिए जो विशु पर्व है वो इस बात का द्योतक हो जाता है कि एक नव वर्ष शुरू हो चुका है। विशु से जुड़ी 5 बहुत महत्वपूर्ण चीजें हैं, जिनमें से एक है मंदिर आकर सुबह भगवान का स्मरण करना, और केवल एक है कि नव वर्ष में खुशियां जो है वो हमें मिलनी चाहिए। और ऐसी ही प्रार्थना करने के लिए मैं अपने पति और पुत्र के साथ आज पहुंची हूँ मयूर विहार के गुरुवायूर देवस्थान। आज के दिन सात्विक भोजन किया जाता है संपूर्ण केरल में। इट्स अ कम्युनिटी लंच, परिवार के लोग एक साथ बैठकर केले के पत्ते पर खाते हैं। और होती है विशु कैनी आटम, जिसमें बड़े लोग अपने से छोटों को पैसे देते हैं। भाव केवल एक है कि आपकी जेबें भरी रही, आपकी झोली खुशियों से भरी रहे, आनंद रहे, उत्सव रहे और परिवार में सब लोग मिलजुल कर एक साथ भोजन करें। यही है हार्वेस्ट फेस्टिवल, यही है विशु। तो चलिए दीजिए इजाजत आभा मेहता को, मैं कहती हूँ आपको हैप्पी विशु।
Thank you. So that was recorded a couple of weeks before she had this fatal asthma attack and cardiac arrest. But she has that zest for all festivals, and she used to really understand why this festival is celebrated, and she used to really take part, very actively. I'll just continue on what I was trying to say, what Saksham asked me. So please in life, for your loved ones, do not procrastinate or say कि हम बाद में करेंगे। जो कुछ करना है, if you are able to do it, if you have those bandwidth to do it, please do that. बात का कुछ नहीं पता होता. So I mean, I went, in life, for me, it just happened suddenly. We had a lot of things we have done. I mean, I'm very happy she wanted to do Andaman Nicobar. We did Andaman Nicobar this time. We did Coorg this year. I'm not saying only holidays, but anything else in life that your partner, children, parents, your loved ones, friends, these things you will repent. So don't delay anything. Whatever you can do, if that makes them happy, just do that. That's my humble request to all of you. I want all of you to be happy and have a very good life. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. To add on to what Dad was saying, she had struggled with asthma for the majority of my life, at least, and as you can imagine, that is an illness that can kind of like make life super hard sometimes. But what impressed me the most was when all of this happened and everybody started reaching out to me from different parts of her life. The one word that kept on coming to me from everybody was bindas, you know. So if there's anything I would want Mom to be remembered by, it's that word, because I truly think that no matter what happened, she tried to make sure that that's how she lived her life to the fullest, and that's how anybody always should. That's at least what I think she would want me to say to each and every one of you today. And now I'm going to be inviting my Mamu, Shekhar Mamu, Colonel Kamal Mehta, and my Dauji, Ramesh Kumar, to come up on stage as well.
Namaskar. Well, like all the previous speakers, I'm not one of them. I'm the odd man out. I'm actually stage shy, and therefore I've only come to give my vote of thanks. But before that, Abha was born when I was training in the National Defence Academy. There was a gap of 17 years and 2 days between our ages. By the time I became an officer, Abha was still an infant going to the school. He has more friends amongst my colleagues in the army who were living next door to our quarter in Ambala camp. They remember her even better than I do, because I used to only meet her during my annual leave. However, I think it was all made up when she grew up. All the loss that I had accumulated was totally compensated by her love. That's how it was. She was always endeared by everyone, people from all age groups, people from all walks of life, and that the example is right here with this hall full. And there are a lot of people who are locked into the room. It just shows. And the rest of it is all what you all know and what has been spoken about her by the previous speakers. Now, it's a vote of thanks. Number one, I would like to thank the Standard Chartered Bank fraternity. Number two, I would like to thank the Poetic Society, the lady who came in on the stage. Number three, my heartfelt gratitude to the erstwhile Pushpanjali Hospital, now Max Hospital Vishali, where Abha had to go during her asthmatic episodes quite often. Number four, I would thank the society or the community of Sunbreeze Apartments. I think there is no better example of a community living in that neighborhood. That neighborhood has always been in full support of any situation that comes in there. I am not naming any personalities, please pardon me for that. I would like to also thank the house staff, which includes the housemaids and the driver of the family of Santosh Kumar. If I have missed out anyone, I would apologize for that. Now I would like to request everyone to please have a cup of tea which has been laid outside in our honor. And also, before you leave, please pay your tributes either here or outside only with flowers and flower petals and not with any kind of cash, please. May I now request the the hosts, that is my family and Santosh Kumar's family, to please line up so that you can wish goodbye to the people who have been so kind to spend their evening with us today. For the others, I would request first to allow all elders and especially those with walking sticks to come and pay their regards, pay their tributes rather, and please join us for the tea outside. Can I request now only the elders and their escorts to get up, please. Thank you for your patience. The others who are in a hurry may start leaving. You could use this exit. There is another photograph outside where you can pay your tributes. And please do not forget to have the cup of tea. Thank you very much.
I'm Gaurav. I used to work with her in Capital. She was just